Welcome to CivilNet. We have a very special guest here today in our studios in Yerevan, Sebu Simonyan of Capital Cities. Sebu, welcome to Yerevan. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's really great to have you here. I know you have a very busy schedule and you're here for a number of reasons. You're going to be performing at several clubs, some small, some big. And now you're used to performing in bigger venues because you're an opening act for Katy Perry.
Yes.
How's that been?
It's been amazing. So the band Capital Cities that I'm in has been doing a lot of work over the last couple of years, mostly because of the success of one of our singles, Safe and Sound, which has kind of been climbing the charts all over the world over the last 2-3 years now. And so recently Katy Perry invited us to open for her on her world tour, and so we opened for her for about a month and a half, mostly on the East Coast of the US, and that was a great experience. And that leg of the tour ended for us. She continues and she brings in other opening acts as different parts of her tour. So now that that's over, I had like 10 days of free time, and I had planned to come to Armenia anyway for a wedding for a really good friend of mine. This is kind of a side story. Her name is Lori Baghdasaryan, who's actually an accomplished flamenco dancer from Paris, and she's marrying a Spaniard flamenco guitarist who we've actually adopted into the Armenian culture.
That's what we do.
And he loves Armenia, and we're going to have the wedding here. And that's this weekend. So, with this opportunity, I decided to do some solo appearances, with the help of Deem Communications, to do at least one DJ set and 2 kind of acoustic, more serious performances. And those performances are going to be on Sunday and Wednesday, and we could talk more about those.
In a dusty room, I come to assume that I've been doomed to lose my mind tonight. Too weak to fight. So I try to save face and I rest my case. The judge pulls me aside, says, "C'est la vie, let your darker side come out to feed." Shut up, shut up, shut up. Sit up, sit up, sit up. It's a kangaroo court. A kangaroo court. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Sit up, sit up, sit up. It's a kangaroo court. A kangaroo court.
Of course, we're all kind of starstruck because as Armenians, being a small tribe, as I call them once in a while, small nation, when one of our own achieves success, it's the success for all of us, and we sort of live in that glow that you emanate. So I was thinking when you walked into our studio and everybody here at the staff came up and wanted to take selfies with you and take photos of you and videotape you, I'm wondering if you're walking down the streets of Yerevan, how that will be, or how that has been so far, because the distinguished beard obviously is a giveaway.
Yeah, I mean, I just got here last night, so I haven't really had a chance to see if that would happen.
Maybe we should take a camera or put a GoPro somewhere and follow you.
I think it's pretty fresh and new in general with the whole world, but especially Armenia as well. So, every once in a while I'll get somebody that recognizes me and wants to come up and take a picture, but it doesn't happen often. And when it does, I embrace it. I, try to, appreciate that support, because that's all it really is. It's support, and I love it. And I'm very blessed to be in this position.
You had prepared a small video when you were in Philadelphia, I think, for one of the concerts you had with Katy Perry, and you said, "I'm coming to Armenia because Armenia is my hometown." Is that how you feel?
Absolutely. I've been here several times before. I haven't been here since 2008. But the first time I was here was in 98, I think, 98, yeah, I believe so. My parents come here often. My dad, wants to set his roots here. We've always been lovers of our culture and heritage and history. Originally, my parents are from Lebanon, and I've been educated, about the Armenian history and the language, of course. So there's a connection there, and it's always great to have an opportunity to visit
because you
the
grew
homeland.
you grew up in Southern California,
Yeah.
where there's a very, very large Armenian community. I think the second largest after Russia, and I'm sure. I don't know how active you were, but I'm sure that your parents being so active within the Armenian community, that also impacted your sort of worldview and your ethnic identity and all of that.
Absolutely.
But you are a musician, and music doesn't recognize ethnicity or culture or borders. And now Safe and Sound has over 120 million views on
amazing.
YouTube, which is really astounding, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
how does that, I mean, does it ever, when you're going through your daily routine, do you ever stop and say, my God, 120 million views and all of this success?
Absolutely. Well, everything is relative. I think I was more excited when we reached 100,000 views in our initial, because before we got signed to Capitol Records, we were doing this independently for a long time. For about a year and a half, we promoted the song and released it publicly until Capitol Records came in and helped. But no, when you reach certain milestones, especially when you do it independently, it's thrilling. And then after that, it was just such a whirlwind that we didn't really have time to sit back and reflect on what was happening, and just went on tour. And we first toured completely independently, and we were in a little RV with 10 people. So it's been very busy and very tiring, but very, of course, glorious and eye-opening, because we get to see a lot of beautiful new cities and cultures and eat some great, interesting variety of foods. Yeah.
We love food. Mm-hmm. But it's really a gift, isn't it, to be able to, as we were just watching your video of Safe and Sound, and it doesn't seem to subside. Its popularity seems to, maybe it subsides and then it's on the radio again every couple of hours. But it's a real gift, isn't it, to be able to experience all of that, and then that helps you in the creative process?
Absolutely. We come from a music commercial writing background, myself and my partner Ryan Merchant, who's my bandmate, and we wrote the song together. And so, we wrote a lot of music in a wide variety of genres. And then after this, and of course the experiences that we had, making this music video and touring, obviously, provides for a lot of inspiration for new material, and so we're constantly writing and being creative. It's a great place to be.
Don't wait for an invitation. No need for reservation. This life is an exploration, and you gotta see what I see in you. I can't wait 1 minute more. The sun does shine.
A lot of people hate this question. I often hate it when people ask me the question, but I figure I'm going to ask you anyway.
Ask away.
Nothing personal. You're in your mid-30s now. You worked really, really hard to get to where you are, and I suspect that this is just probably the tip of the iceberg for you, that there's still a great journey ahead. Where is this going for you? Where do you see yourself going?
Well, I've been making music since I was very young, but professionally, 16, 17, 18, I already started, playing in bands and playing clubs and recording myself and other people in a little recording studio in Southern California. And the one thing that always remained was change, and variety. I like to experiment a lot of different types of genres, and also different aspects of the music industry. I like being a recording artist. I like being a performer on stage. I like being a producer and writer behind the scenes. I also like the peripheral things that come with the music industry, like the business side of things and making music videos and things like that. So I'm just gonna, constantly experiment with different things. Today, I mean, this week in Armenia is my solo kind of debut appearance in Armenia, but also in general.
Because you're always with Ryan
Capital Cities has been the core of my life for almost 3 years now. And with these shows, I'm going to strip it down a little bit. I do DJ sets, but also, you know, acoustic, very mellow, kind of intimate performances, which are going to be two of the shows that I do here. So that might lead to, you know, new collaborations. For example, for these two shows, I'm collaborating with at least 3 guest musicians, one of which is Jivan Gasparian Jr., who's obviously an amazing duduk player, and with him I've already recorded 2 songs that I released a couple years ago, and we're probably going to play those at these shows. And they sound very different than Capital Cities. And so I think I have different ideas and you know, artistic output that I would like to kind of showcase for the rest of my life.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't want to cubbyhole yourself and say I'm just a lyricist or a performer, but being multi-talented like you are, I'm sure you can sort of pick and choose where you want to go, and somehow you'll figure it out along the way, I suppose.
Yeah, why not?
Have you done those small sets before elsewhere, or is this the first time that you're really doing it? Because you're at Uptown and at Cafés Can.
Yes.
And they are not big venues.
Not at all. So the Uptown set, which is tonight, which is sold out, is a complete DJ party. This is going to be, you guys have to come, whoever shows up, and get sweaty and dance constantly. I'm just going to play some really cool tracks, mostly some you know, dance-oriented music that I've curated, as well as Capital Cities and Cebu songs that have been remixed, you know, in a dance format. So tonight's going to be a party. But the 2 other performances, one at Mezzo Hall on Sunday and one at Cafés Can on Wednesday, they're going to be very acoustic, very intimate on a acoustic piano, and those are going to showcase more of my singer-songwriter type music, Capital City songs, non-Capital City songs, some covers, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good night. Because you also do covers
as well. You've done Beatles and Sinead O'Connor, whom I love. So
thank you.
Very
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. Couple of final questions.
Sure.
You're married, you have a 6-month-old baby whose name is Rafi, and he's accompanying you here to Armenia, and obviously because it's also a family thing, I presume you're going to a wedding. You know, Cebu, when you're 14, 15 years old, anybody, you have dreams and goals and where you see yourself, and now that you're a father, and seeing all the hard work that you put into it and all the perhaps sacrifices also, I presume, that you had to make to get to where you are. What are your sort of dreams for your boy?
I've been blessed to have parents who have supported me all the way with my music, and they would have supported me whatever I would have wanted to pursue. And so I'm just going to try to do the same with Rafi, and of course, you know, expose him to as much as I can. To the world and to the arts and the non-arts and everything, and you know.
Well, he may end up being an accounnt for all we
know.
Who
knows? Maybe a politician. Whatever he wants to do.
And you know, when I was telling people that you're going to be coming into CivilNet, and you know, everybody knows you here, and somebody asks me, can you please ask him a question? I said, sure. I'm thinking it's going to be, you know, music related. He goes, in the Yerevan heat of almost 40 degrees Celsius, the beard, how does he do it?
The beard, you might be surprised to learn, actually helps with the heat. You know, the beard is actually a very natural thing. It dissipates heat from your body when it's too hot, and when it's cold, it retains heat. So it's an insulation. So in the heat, actually, the beard is a good thing to have.
So is this part of your persona, or can this come off one day?
You know, when I started growing it, I had absolutely no intention to grow it. It was really a result of laziness. You know, the last time I shaved completely was my wedding day, almost 5 years ago. And there was really no intention behind it, and there will be no intention behind
it coming off.
However, as you say, it has become a part of my persona, and I think my manager would kill me if I shaved it.
Yeah. Well, with fame comes restrictions, I presume. So now you have a manager and handlers and people telling you what you should do and not do, perhaps.
Ultimately, it's my choice, and I think so far I'm going to keep it for a little while longer.
Okay, well, we'll be following the progression of the beard and the progression of your career. I want to thank you for coming into CivilNet today. You know, try not to get too sappy about it, but we are really proud that, you know, our compatriot, brother, son, friend has reached the success that you have, and we wish that you, or hope that you continue. And it's amazing when people don't forget where they come from, when they remain sort of humble and grounded to their roots. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me so much.
And I'd like to remind our viewers that my guest today was Sevu Simonyan of Capital Cities, who is in Yerevan to perform at a number of clubs in the city. Stay with CivilNet.